deteriorating conditions in Washington with loss of personal liberty, a weak economy, exploding deficits, and perpetual war, followed by nation building, there are still quite a number of us who would relish the opportunity to improve things in one way or another. Certainly, a growing number of frustrated Americans from both the right and the left are getting anxious to see this Congress do a better job. But first, Congress must stop doing a bad job. We're at a point where we need a call to arms, both here in Washington and across the country. I'm not talking about firearms. Those of us who care need to raise our arms and face our palms out and begin waving and shouting, "Stop. Let's stop this. Enough is enough." It should include liberals, conservatives, and independents. We're all getting a bum rap from the politicians who are pushed by the polls and controlled by special interest money. One thing is certain, no matter how morally justified programs and policies seem, the ability to finance all the guns and butter being promised is limited. And those limits are becoming more apparent every day. Spending, borrowing, and printing money cannot be the road to prosperity. It hasn't worked in Japan, and it isn't working here. As a matter of fact, it's never worked any time throughout history. A point is always reached where government's planning, spending, and inflation run out of steam. Instead of these old tools reviving the economy, as they do in the early stages of economic interventionism, they eventually become the problem. Both sides of the political spectrum must one day realize that limitless government intrusion in the economy, our personal lives, and in the affairs of other nations cannot serve the best interests of America. This is not a conservative problem, nor is it a liberal problem. It's a government intrusion problem that comes from both groups, albeit for different reasons. The problems emanate from both camps who champion different programs for different reasons. The solution will come when both groups realize that it's not merely a single-party problem, or just a liberal or just a conservative problem. Once enough of us decide we've had enough of all these so-called good things that the government is always promising, or more likely when the country is broke and the government is unable to fulfill its promises to the people, we can start a serious discussion on the proper role of government in a free society. Unfortunately, it will be some time before Congress gets this message that the people are demanding true reform. This requires that those responsible for today's problems are exposed and their philosophy of pervasive government intrusion is rejected. Let it not be said that no one cared, that no one objected, once it's realized that our liberties and wealth are in jeopardy. A few have, and others will continue to do so, but too many, both in and out of government, close their eyes to the issue of personal liberty and ignore the fact that endless borrowing to finance endless demands cannot be sustained. True prosperity can only come from a healthy economy and sound money. That can only be achieved in a free society. And I yield back the balance of my time.